Right now, live at 5, President Trump is applying more pressure for schools to reopen in the fall, saying they may lose funding if they don't.
Members from the deaf and hard of hearing community are saying some changes need to be made to Duluth's mask ordinance.
And while COVID has canceled many events, an Iron Range favorite is still on in Healy.
Coming up tonight, residents in Grand Marais react to tourists leaving trash around town.
You're watching Live at 5 on Live Local CBS3.
Welcome to the CBS3 News Live at 5. Here's a live look at Canal Park and what has been a mostly cloudy day, and that is giving way to some storms. Good evening, I'm Kristen Bakke.
And I'm Anthony Matt. Thanks for joining us. Today started with showers for many of us, and as we move into the evening, we could see the weather take a turn for the worse.
Dave is tracking the potential for some severe weather, so let's go to him first tonight. Dave, you've been watching this all afternoon.
Yeah, and we've had some showers and storms pop up. They haven't been strong enough to be considered severe. They've bubbled just under, just like the other day. But most of us do face a severe thunderstorm watch until midnight tonight. A little bit later, I'll show you that map. But right now, I want to show you what's going on live-wise over towards Ashland, because there is a line of storms underneath the severe criteria that's going towards the Bayfield Peninsula. But this live shot shows it probably hasn't reached Ashland yet. Things look awfully calm in that neck of the woods, and the streets look dry. But keep in mind, folks in Wisconsin and Michigan have a 60% chance for showers and storms tonight, and Minnesotans have an 80% chance for a little more action. Again, a lot of towns there had some of it this morning. Let's take a look at the bigger picture then, and we'll see that things are not that wild for much of our area, but there's that line of storms over towards the Bayfield Peninsula. Could drop some much-needed rain, just like Duluth got just a little while ago here. But this is a big, long, convoluted low-pressure system. It's actually centered well to the west up in Canada. It's occluded, so there's a trio of fronts working through the region. That's why the clouds are up, and the rain chances will stay up at least until midnight. Our short-term forecast, we'll talk about that in just a little bit, but right now, speaking of much-needed rain, if one of these storm cells gets over your town, additional rain totals could look like this, and they're pretty nice numbers, really. 1 1/3 inches for Duluth, we could use that. About 2/10 up towards Ely, they could use a little more, but close to 2 inches in Hayward. Let's hope they get a little less than that so they don't have any more flooding problems. We'll talk more about how long the storm chance will last and what's to follow coming up in a few more minutes.
Thanks, Dave. Concerns tonight about that proposed ordinance requiring people to wear face masks indoors and in public spaces in Duluth. Members of the deaf and hard of hearing communities say it would make it difficult for them to communicate. CBS3's Leanne Valdez reports.
The COVID-19 pandemic has brought some new challenges to the deaf and hard of hearing community.
It's been very isolating for deaf and hard of hearing people during this time.
Though only a few are able to lip read, deaf and hard of hearing community members still rely heavily on facial expressions to communicate.
When you have a mask on, it takes away from the face expressions as well as the mouth. And
as more and more cities are taking on mandatory mask ordinances, Duluth is proposing its own. American Sign Language professor at St. Scholastica, Monica Marciniak, thinks it's a great idea, but says the city council needs to be mindful of other communities.
We absolutely need to be providing resources and tools and strategies and tips.
Marciniak lost her hearing as a child and now dedicates her life to teach others about deaf culture.
People make a lot of assumptions when someone isn't responding, that they're being rude or something like that, but maybe they're not hearing.
She hopes the council uses this opportunity to learn and teach, too.
Having other communication means available to people and make people aware that they need to be available.
Duluth Human Rights Officer Carl Crawford says their commission has had many conversations about the issue and understands it's a tough situation.
Part of their world has now been shut down.
Crawford says clear masks and face shields are something businesses could look into investing in. That is, if they can find them.
Part of the challenge is those masks are in very short supply.
For now, making yourself a part of the solution can work.
Use gestures as much as possible, as well as if we have something, an opportunity to have something to write on to find out if folks need help or how we can help.
In a statement, Duluth City Council member Eric Forsman said, in part, quote, the co-authors of the proposed ordinance have been working proactively throughout the community to ensure an inclusive and well-thought-out policy. This includes incorporating feedback from people with expertise in deaf and hard of hearing issues, end quote. You can read the full statement on our website, CBS3Duluth.com.
Food banks across Minnesota will receive emergency funding to ensure no one goes hungry during the pandemic. Minnesota Governor Tim Walz announced $12 million to combat hunger in the state today and will support all 7 food banks and around 300 food shelves. According to recent data, about 300,000 Minnesotans have visited food shelves each month since the pandemic started. That's about a 30% increase. The money is coming from the Federal CARES Act. The Duluth Public Schools is seeing new faces in leadership roles. Tuesday, the Duluth School Board approved the hire of Anthony Bonds as the new assistant superintendent and Jen Larva as the interim director of curriculum and instruction. This comes after John Magus took over as the district's new superintendent last week. The Duluth School District also announced Joanna Walters as the new assistant principal at Denfeld High School.
The president is publicly contradicting his own health agencies as he continues to push to get kids back into classrooms this fall. Natalie Brand is at the White House, where President Trump is also hosting the leader of Mexico despite a travel ban on that country.
Mexico's President Andres Manuel Lopez Obrador is meeting with President Trump at the White House as they tout the new U.S.-Mexico-Canada trade agreement. The visit comes as the president steps up his push to reopen schools this fall despite surging coronavirus cases in states across the country. The president even tweeted this threat, saying, may cut off funding if not open.
What you heard from the president is just a determination to provide the kind of leadership from the federal level that says that we're going to get our kids back to school.
New York Governor Andrew Cuomo emphasized it's a state and local decision when and where to reopen.
Well, I won't give New York funding. You don't give us any funding now.
The president also tweeted that he disagrees with his own CDC's suggestions for reopening schools, calling them very tough, expensive, and impractical.
It's guidance. It's not requirements.
The vice president said the CDC will issue new guidance next week to give more clarity on reopening schools because of the president's criticism.
What is not the intent of CDC's guidelines is to be used as a rationale to keep schools closed.
The presumptive Democratic presidential nominee, Joe Biden, continued to bash the Trump administration's response to the pandemic.
The guy who says, I'm commander-in-chief, and then doesn't command anything in this fight against the COVID-19.
The president this week has touted a lower death rate from the pandemic, but Dr. Anthony Fauci called that a, quote, false narrative, urging Americans not to become complacent.
The Prime Minister of Canada, Justin Trudeau, declined the White House's invitation to visit today due to coronavirus concerns.
To come from a local veterans ride to help educate others about homelessness to a local baseball tournament in full swing this weekend. That and more as we take you around the Northland, city by city, next.
And coming up tonight at 6, how small businesses could be getting a boost from the government.
You're watching Live at 5 with Kristen Vaki, Anthony Matt, and weather with meteorologist Dave Anderson on Live Local CBS3. CBS3 News is brought to you by Steel Power Tools.
Home World Rugs Progressive Rug Sale. The more you buy, the more you save. Up to $500 off sale prices on any rug, $199 or more. Every shape, size, pattern, and color rug on sale now. Up to 56% off regular prices. The Progressive Rug Sale at Home World Rugs.
Hi, John with Prime Appliance. It's our Grand Slam sale. We've hit it out of the park again 4 months in a row with super savings and another big 6% instant rebate on all in-stock appliances. Save over $2,000 on this beautiful 4-piece GE Cafe kitchen suite in matte white. Includes a counter-depth French door refrigerator, an electric double oven induction slide-in range, a high-performance ultra-quiet dishwasher, and a convection over-the-range microwave. Only $93.49 after instant rebate. Prime Appliance is the best place to buy your appliances. Let us prove it to you.
We know it can be scary when you're injured in an accident.
We know the insurance company can be unfair.
We know that bills need to be paid.
But we also know what it takes to win.
We know what it takes to get our clients compensated.
And most importantly, we always fight to do the right thing for our community.
Nicolay knows.
Nicolay knows.
Nicolay knows.
Nicolay knows injury law.
Nicolay Law. Duluth and Superior's award-winning injury, disability, and bankruptcy law firm.
Hi, I'm Dr. Charity Reynolds. I would like to remind you that COVID-19 is still around. Remember to wash your hands, wear your mask, and stay home as much as possible. Thank you.
Tough comes in all shapes and sizes.
As a roofer, you're working 12 and 14 hours a day.
Growing up with parents who are addicts was tough, so I've worked my hardest to succeed.
12 hard-working Americans redefining what it means to be tough.
I got that willpower to go.
I want to show my mom that her sacrifices pay off.
This is about leaving a legacy. I will make my children proud.
Tough as Nails, 2-hour premiere. Tonight, 8/7 Central on CBS.
During our 4th of July sale at Home Sleep Express, get no interest financing for 6 years on Beauty Rest, plus save up to $800 on select Beauty Rest mattresses and adjustable sets. And get free delivery, setup, and a 120-day guarantee. 4th of July mattress savings at Home Sleep Express.
Welcome back to the CBS3 News Live at 5. Here's a live look over Duluth tonight as we hit the halfway point of the week. We are expecting some storms throughout much of the evening tonight. Dave will have more on that in a few minutes, but first, let's see what's happening around the region.
From a Wisconsin county passing a mask mandate to a local baseball tournament being in full swing this weekend. All that and more as we take you around the Northland city by city. The 7th annual Veterans Ride for the Homeless will be held on July 26th in Grand Rapids. The American Legion Riders Chapter 1 in Deer River are big supporters and will lead the ride through northern Itasca County. The goal of this fundraiser is to educate others about the growing homelessness issue in Itasca County. The entry fee is $20 and all motorcycle enthusiasts are welcome. The $20 fee will support the Grace House of Itasca County, the only homeless shelter in the area. Meanwhile, the Duluth City Council is in talks about passing a mask mandate, and in Dane County, it will be Wisconsin's first area to pass a mask requirement. The decision came after the amount of confirmed COVID-19 cases doubled in just under 1 month. Health officials say many of those cases were seen in young adults. Governor Tony Evers says that no party or bar is worth getting the virus. The mandate will start Monday, and everyone over the age of 5 must wear a mask. COVID-19 is causing many summer events all over the Northland to be canceled. However, in Ely, the Midsummer Classic is still on for this weekend. In the summer, Ely normally hosts 2 baseball tournaments, but due to the coronavirus, the baseball season started much later. So the DQ tourney was not possible. 10 teams will compete over the course of 3 days. Health precautions are in place to keep both players and crowds safe. If there's something going on in your neighborhood that you think we should know about, send us an email and it might be featured as we go around the Northland city by city.
Still to come, Grand Marais residents are upset and taking to social media to voice their concerns, what they're worried about coming up.
Among the towns that have tasted rain already, about a half-inch fell for Hibbing. We could all use rain like that. We'll talk about the potential for getting more here tonight, along with the risk of severe thunderstorms. That all comes your way right after this break.
Hi, I'm Dr. Charity Reynolds. I would like to remind you that COVID-19 is still around. Remember to wash your hands, wear your mask, and stay home as much as possible. Thank you.
Every second, 127 new devices connect to the internet. You can feel it happening. Our digital world expanding with every breath. We're entering a whole new era of technology. And Mediacom will be ready to power it. All of it. With one of the nation's first supercharged 10G platforms. We'll be lighting up cities, big and small. Wherever you are, whatever your connectivity needs, we'll be bringing you more speed, more capacity, more security, and the power to do more than you ever dreamed possible.
Here at Angie's Closet, we are a boutique that carries a variety of women's clothing in all shapes, sizes, and styles that are friendly on your wallet. Come let Angie and her team help you get your wardrobe ready for any occasion this summer. We feature name brands like Calvin Klein, Kate Spade, J. Crew, and more. Come see why women from all over the country say this is the best consignment boutique they have ever shopped. Stop in today at Angie's Closet, located on Tower Avenue in Superior, Wisconsin.
West Outlet is open for business. Now save up to 40% off store-wide.
The show critics are praising as genius is now the Emmy winner for Outstanding Talk Show Host. What? And the stars love it too.
It's so good!
The Kelly Clarkson Show, weekdays at 3 on Live Local CBS3. Watch Dave, Caitlin, and Austin for local weather you can trust on CBS. Now, the CBS3 Duluth WeatherMax forecast with meteorologist Dave Anderson.
All right, the threat for severe weather is out there, and some thunderstorms did come across this morning, some already this afternoon. Not too many were strong enough to be called severe yet. Potential is still there. Yes, indeed, severe thunderstorm watch in effect for most of our region until midnight tonight. The exceptions, Koochiching County, Cook County, and Gogebic County. Looks like you folks are off the hook, at least for now, but everybody keep an eye to the sky just in case this severe weather threat pays off and develops into hail, high winds, and tornadoes are not out of the question here tonight. But things should ease up by tomorrow afternoon, and this will all be just a memory. Well, what's going on right now at the airport in Duluth? We'll take a look at those current conditions, and the rain we had in the last hour or two has knocked temperatures down from the 80s into the upper 70s, but also kicked up then the relative humidity into the 74% range here. Wind is calm for the time being, and the wind will be tricky tonight. It'll be fairly gentle in general, unless you're right under a cumulonimbus cloud, and then the winds could kick up to 60 miles per hour, so watch out for that as well. Air pressure on the lower side at 1,009 millibars because of an occluded low that's working through the region right now. Temperatures right now go from 80 to 85 in the upper peninsula, and most inland Wisconsin places, Ashland's Kennedy Airport's a little bit inland. It's going from 84 to 88. Cooler by the lake in Superior at the Bong Airport, 74. 84 Moose Lake, low 70s by the lake, even upper 60s towards Grand Marais. Comfortable there. A little warmer and muggier inland Minnesota, low 80s for the Iron Ranges and up towards border country. This should break the back of the warm spell at least a little bit here as this low pressure system feeds on the heat energy of these warm temperatures. It'll still be summery for the rest of the week, but instead of being close to 90, we'll be more close to 80. All right, Doppler map right now. Here's what we had going on earlier here in the day. Take a look. There's that line of storms in the morning that bubbled up through just about everybody here in the region, faded out by the UP. And now coming up, there's that line that we've had in the past hour or two, heading into Lake Superior out of the Bayfield Peninsula. Nothing major redeveloping behind, but again, keep in mind this low pressure system is convoluted and right now centered well over towards Saskatchewan with its occluded front reaching into our area. By tomorrow, the low will depart. There will be a 30 to 40% chance for morning rain, but in the afternoon, things will start to ease up and set us up then for a pretty calm day on Friday as higher pressure brings back dry conditions and sunshine as well. Today was fairly cloudy. By Friday, we'll be back towards the sunnier side of life, and it'll still be warm, but not as oppressive as the past couple of days have been for a lot of towns. Getting into the forecast for tonight, this is what we're looking at for Minnesota. The chance for redevelopment of storms is going to be 80%. And please do keep in mind, embedded in that chance is the potential for strong weather. So be ready to seek shelter in case it happens. Low temps will be in the 60s inland and maybe 50s by the lake. For Wisconsin and Michigan, you get a 60% storm chance developing here tonight. Your low temps will run from about 60 to 65 for tomorrow. Well, 40% chance for morning rain in Wisconsin and the UP, and the high temps in the afternoon will run 84 to 86. Dew points will be down a little bit, so it shouldn't be quite as muggy, not quite as warm, but still very summery by our Northland standards. 30% chance for the morning rain to linger in Minnesota tomorrow. Inland high temps, 80 to 85 degrees. Mid-70s closer to the lake, especially up towards Cook County. And now with the extended forecast, we have that spike in temperatures earlier this afternoon, followed by mid-80s for a lot of places tomorrow, then lower 80s ride the rest of the week out here from Friday on through next Wednesday. Rain chances for the weekend, yeah, it does look like a 30% shot now for Saturday afternoon and evening. Otherwise, Saturday morning and all of Sunday should be gorgeous to enjoy that rare commodity called heat around here.
Yeah, certainly rare indeed. Thanks, Dave.
People living in Grand Marais are taking to social media to voice concerns over the trash being left behind by visitors. Year-round residents say tourists have been leaving trash around town. They say visitors aren't picking up after pets at the beach. They're leaving trash at campsites and dumping sewer water in front of people's yards. Residents say they started noticing it about 2 weeks ago and say it's disheartening to those who live in Grand Marais year-round.
There's a bigger issue with respect to the public land, their campsites, trails, wildlife, but also this community. I think sometimes people forget that people live here.
Residents believe many of the people not picking up their trash are first-time campers and don't know the rules of leave no trace.
Superior Police say a sex offender will be released into the community. 32-year-old Christopher Stevens will be residing on the 1600 block of North 16th Street. Stevens pleaded no contest to 5 counts of possession of child pornography in January of 2018. He will remain under supervision, not allowed to have contact with the victim, and will be a registered sex offender for life.
An electrical fire severely damaged a home in Duluth's East Hillside neighborhood. Fire crews responded to the home on 16th Avenue East just after 9:30 p.m. on Tuesday. Crews arrived to find flames coming through the roof of the 2-story home. The homeowners were outside and told firefighters how to access the attic. The fire marshal's office determined the cause was due to an overloaded electrical circuit. Damages are estimated at $40,000. No one was hurt.
Still to come, how businesses are trying to stay afloat during the pandemic.
The great American outdoors are closer than you think. Visit a Steel dealer now and get the Built in America FS56 RCE trimmer for only $199.95. Not sold at Lowe's or the Home Depot. Pick up at over 9,000 local Steel dealers. Find yours at steeldealers.com.
Welcome back to gaming excitement in downtown Duluth. Fond Duluth Casino is currently open 10 a.m. to 2 a.m. daily with a large selection of slot games available to brighten your day. The entire gaming floor is currently non-smoking with social distancing and COVID-19 protocols in place. We want you to have fun, but also stay safe when you visit. Log on to fondduluthcasino.com for the most up-to-date information during these ever-changing times. We're looking forward to seeing you smile under that face cover while you
have a great time out at Fond Duluth.
The show critics are praising as genius is now the Emmy winner for Outstanding Talk Show Host. What? And the stars love it too.
You're so good!
The Kelly Clarkson Show, weekdays at 3 on Live Local CBS3.
They're live, they're local. Watch the CBS3 News with Kristen Baki and Anthony Mack tonight at 6, right after the CBS Evening News at 5:30.
For breaking stories that impact the Northland most, turn to CBS3. Watch Anthony Matt weekdays at 6 and 10 p.m. on Live Local CBS3 Duluth.
Hi, I'm Dr. Charity Reynolds. I would like to remind you that COVID-19 is still around. Remember to wash your hands, wear your mask, and stay home as much as possible. Thank you.
I want people to tune in, and I want them to see a friend because I'm a mother and I know how hard it can be. You're doing all these things and then you have the child and then no one talks to you about how lonely it can be. You know, who do you lean to? Who do you connect with? This segment is very important to me because I get to work, but I also get to work on my passion.
Catch Eye on Parenting every Thursday at 6 with Leanne Valdez on CBS3.
Our Northland may not have the longest severe weather season, but it does come around every now and then. I'm hoping folks will keep an eye to the sky and on Channel 3 here this summer. If severe weather threatens, Austin Haskins, Caitlin Moffett, and I will keep our eyes glued to the radar. We'll break in if you need to hear about the latest storm developments. We'll work together to keep our region safe.
Watch Dave, Caitlin, and Austin for local weather you can trust on CBS3.
I got into journalism when I was in high school, actually, and that's where I really fell in love with the news and the storytelling aspect of it. Being able to bring those things together and keep people informed. It's so important for us to be in a community like Duluth, to be able to hear your stories and then bring them to everybody else in the community.
Wake up with Austin and Jenna at 5 a.m. Live local CBS 3.
During the pandemic, businesses are overcoming obstacles that have not been seen before.
Andy Gothier has more.
From small companies to big box corporations, the coronavirus has delivered a blow to businesses across the U.S. According to the latest report from the Bureau of Economic Analysis, personal income decreased 4.2% in May, but consumer spending went up more than 8%. Companies are evolving in an effort to lift sales in the age of COVID-19. Strategies like curbside pickup have exploded in popularity the past few months, but the concept is easier for retailers that operate freestanding stores and have space to provide the service. It's not so easy for America's enclosed malls, especially for tenants who don't have a door leading outdoors. Other businesses making different changes like contactless delivery. Some stores are offering special hours for older shoppers, and Costco stopped selling their half-sheet cakes that serve about 50, now only serving smaller cakes. With some states scaling back on reopenings, business owners are hoping these changes will help them stay afloat.
Many restaurants and other businesses are reopening around Duluth following these guidelines.
Coming up on the CBS Evening News, hospitals in Florida are running out of ICU beds as doctors and nurses warn they don't have enough protective gear. Could a syringe shortage be the next problem? Plus, Texas blows past its one-day record and reports 10,000 new coronavirus cases. Our team goes inside a hospital there struggling to treat a surge in patients, and how a trumpeter is using his musical gift to lift the spirits of frontline healthcare workers. And he's only 12. That's tonight on the CBS Evening News.
CBS 3 closed captioning is brought to you by Essentia Health Pharmacies, keeping things safe, simple, and convenient through mail, local delivery, drive-through, and curbside pickup services.
The deaf and hard of hearing community members are speaking out about Duluth's proposed mask ordinance.
Residents in Grand Marais are asking you to pick up your trash.
Tonight at 6 on CBS 3. Watch Dave, Caitlin, and Austin for local weather you can trust on CBS.
The show critics are praising as genius is now the Emmy winner for Outstanding Talk Show Host.
That's a standing ovation.
Yes. And the stars love it too.
You're so good.
America's Sweetheart is a hit and everything we love.
Oh my God!
This is why we connect. Hey. You say y'all, I say y'all.
That's how you say it.
You're wrong.
The Kelly Clarkson Show, weekdays at 3 on live local CBS 3.
Dude, you gonna pick that up? Because there's no poop fairy to do that for you. See? Take these. They're not just poop bags. They're pride bags. Because you're doing the right thing for your neighbors and for the health of the whole watershed. Gotta fly. There's a Chihuahua cranking one out in Leicester right now. There is no poop fairy.
When news happens, CBS 3 is there. We're cutting in with a follow-up to some breaking news.
Anytime, day or night. More cases of the coronavirus are popping up across the Northland.
The only confirmed cases in northeastern Minnesota.
Not go shopping today unless you absolutely must. Do not collect any supplies or equipment unless you absolutely need it today.
The Northland has seen its first coronavirus-related death.
For breaking stories that impact the Northland most, tune to CBS 3.
Hi, I'm Dr. Charity Reynolds. I would like to remind you that COVID-19 is still around. Remember to wash your hands, wear your mask, and stay home as much as possible. Thank you.
Welcome back. You're looking over Duluth from our Spirit Mountain camera tonight. As you can see, it's a pretty gloomy day out there for most of us. Dave is keeping his eyes on the skies and tracking any threats of severe weather that might pop up for us tonight. But for now, let's look back on today's top stories and preview what's to come at 6. A mask mandate may be coming to Duluth, but members of the deaf and hard of hearing communities say it would make it difficult for them to communicate. Some, but not all members of the deaf community depend on reading lips, but all of them rely heavily on reading facial expressions. They say masks make that much harder.
And coming up tonight on the CBS 3 News at 6, as Essentia and Moose Lake's Mercy Hospital make plans to become one, there's now concerns over nurses' contracts. Coming up, we look into demands from the Minnesota Nurses Association and hear what Essentia has to say about the request. Let's get a final look at the weather, Dave. You're watching some storms in the region.
Yeah, right now they're well to the west of us, but just about our entire region is facing a severe thunderstorm watch until midnight tonight. Let's show you the map. We'll see where we're getting some exceptions. If you're in Koochiching County, most of the rain has already fallen for your neck of the woods, and it may not even tickle Cook County in Minnesota, and folks in the UP are tentatively off the hook right now. But for the rest of us, there's a good chance for redevelopment of potentially severe storms, again, at least until midnight. And then an aggravated rain chance could last through Thursday morning, but really more showers than strong storms. All right, what's going to follow for the week ahead then? After that storm threat tonight, there's that 30% chance for showers Thursday morning. Thursday afternoon, higher pressure takes over to set us up for a pretty nice Friday. Sunshine, high temp in the low 80s, will still be summery, like I've been saying, but not as nasty as some of that heat and humidity has been for some towns the past week or so. Then Saturday afternoon, Saturday night, there is a chance for a little rogue system to bring another shower and storm chance, but that should pass away by Sunday, and you'll be able to celebrate the passing with a partly cloudy sky and a high near 80. Good day to go jump in the lake, Kristen. I know you do that almost as much as I do. Then Monday looks nice. Next rain chance will come Tuesday and Wednesday.
All right, thanks, Dave. That's your news at 5. The CBS Evening News is up next.
Thanks for watching.